I'm not trying to trick you. I just want to know you have been very vociferous in saying that American companies are cheating. Okay, that's as America, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're an expert, and just tell me who they are.
John Kennedy must be protected at all costs. Yesterday in the United States Senate, our favorite senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy, was holding a hearing, and one of the witnesses said that we need to aggressively go after corporations because they are tax cheats. Now, I know that it's a political talking point on the left that big, bad, evil corporations must be destroyed. And they think that by going after corporations, they're going after conservatives or Republicans, because all those big money people, they just fund Republicans. But you see, times have changed. This isn't Bill Clinton's 1996 anymore, and it's certainly not Barack Obama's 2010. No. This is Joe Biden's 2024. And the corporations in this country, they're seen by we Republicans, we conservatives, as part of the problem, because they've gone more woke than many college campuses. And they don't care about politics. They care about their bottom line. And if that means helping fund the woke politicians or woke universities, or getting behind outrageous woke efforts like turning every corporate logo into a rainbow every June, or funding abortions for people if they want to travel across state, or boycotting Georgia because they actually wanted to look at a photo ID before they accepted somebody's vote, then they're going to go ahead and do it. So when we hear that a corporation is cheating on their taxes, well, we'd like to get to the bottom of it. And so does Senator John Kennedy. So the questioning began. Ma'am, you said that corporations are cheating on their taxes. Can you please give us more information about that? And then, well, I want you to enjoy the rest.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Mellon, is your expertise in the area, Mr. Bunn made this distinction, is your expertise in the area of tax avoidance or tax evasion, or both?
I would say both. I think the lines, there are situations where the lines might get blurry, especially on the corporate side. But in my...
it's both?
It's both. In short, it's both.
Do you believe that there are major American corporations that are cheating on their taxes?
I think yes, there are cases where the transfer pricing regulations are not being followed, and Mr. Curtis's testimony speaks to that.
Who are they? Who are the five? Name the five American corporations that are the biggest tax cheats.
Well, this is a question for the IRS. It's their job to enforce the laws. So I wouldn't.
But that's a pretty serious allegation you made there, and I'm just asking you who they are.
There are cases pending against a number of companies until those cases conclude. It's not.
Who do you think they are? You're an expert in this area. I'm just asking you. You talked a lot, and I've read some of your writings about American corporations cheating on their taxes. I'm just asking you who they are.
I wouldn't use the word cheating. I think that they are taking advantage of the gray zone.
You used it in your testimony.
I'm sorry?
You used it in your testimony. I'm not trying to trick you. I just want to know you have been very vociferous in saying that American companies are cheating. Okay, that's as America, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're an expert, and just tell me who they are.
I stand by that. I think that there is evidence to suggest that some of these companies and the IRS has pursued cases against a number of the companies.
Who are they, though?
I just want to pause just to enjoy this moment with you. First, she said that these corporations are cheating. Kennedy says, name the top five companies. Just name five in general. And she doesn't. She refuses to. Then she says, yeah, I wouldn't use the word cheating. They're taking advantage of the gray area in the law. And then Kennedy reminds her, well, you actually literally used the word cheating. actually. And she says, well, I'll stand by that. Yes, they are. They're absolutely cheating. And he just says, so name them. I'm a senator. If you know that somebody's breaking the law and cheating on the tax code, tell me, we'll do something about it. And it just goes on and on. And this is a great example, by the way, when you're engaged in a political debate with somebody, whether it's formally or whether it's informally, you know, it's your Thanksgiving dinner table and your liberal brother-in-law shows up and wants to pick a fight with you, or, you know, the left-wing Bernie Sanders woke guy in the cubicle down the hall at your office. When they make these statements that are just, well, everybody knows, you know, the conventional wisdom, just challenge the premise. Don't accept and stipulate to the facts that they want to bring to the table, because they always want to have the arguments on their terms. So this woman walks up and says, so everybody knows that corporations cheat on their taxes. Now, here's what we need to do about it. And he's like, whoa, wait a minute. If corporations are cheating on their taxes, we should know about this. Please tell us. So let's watch how this develops.
That Mr. Curtis has analyzed, including Apple and Microsoft and Facebook
Is
and
Apple
Coca-Cola.
a tax cheat?
I wouldn't say tax cheat. I think that's putting it too strongly,
then-
and I didn't use that word.
Then who are they?
I wouldn't say tax cheats, but I think they are crossing the legal lines that have been set by Congress and by the IRS in the relevant regulations.
I'm
and because the IRS is outgunned,
I'm
they're not able to
confused.
enforce the law against them.
Let me start over. Do you believe that there are major American corporations cheating on their taxes?
I believe they are coming very close to crossing the line, and it's difficult for IRS
they
that is
crossing the
outgunned
line
to
or
enforce
not?
the line.
Are they crossing the line or not?
Well, it's up to the IRS to enforce the line if they
I'm
don't have
asking
the
you your
resources.
opinion. You're an expert.
I think there's a good case to be made that yes, they are crossing
So
the line.
yes. Okay.
Yes,
All right. Who are they?
that's up to the courts and the IRS to determine.
You made this allegation, but you don't want to say who they are? If you know who they are, you just don't want to tell us?
I think that's been explained by Mr. Curtis in
No, I'm
his
asking
analysis.
you to explain. You talk about tax cheats. I'm just asking you who they are, and you don't want to tell us?
Yeah, and we're going to continue. There's another minute or so of this, and it's gold, isn't it? God bless John Kennedy. John Kennedy must be protected at all costs. He needs his own Secret Service detail just in case. I cannot imagine a time doing what we do without John Kennedy at these committee hearings. Understand what's going on here. So let's go back to the beginning, because now you're running away from the word cheating and you're saying they're not cheating, they're crossing the line or they're coming close to the line. So we're going to reset. Do you believe that there are corporations cheating on their taxes? And eventually she said again, which she just said 3.5 minutes ago, yes. And then he says again, well, who are they? Now, let's be clear here. She's there as an expert. That's the only reason that she's testifying there, is as an expert. She was brought in by another senator as an expert on this issue. And in her expertise, for her to draw the conclusion that corporations are cheating on their taxes, one would think that she has at least one case example that she can point to that led her to that conclusion, right? It goes without saying. Do you believe corporations are cheating on taxes? Yes, I do, but I'm not aware of any of them that are doing it. Makes absolutely no sense. You can't hold both positions. If under oath in front of the Senate you say corporations are cheating on their taxes, then you've got to have firsthand knowledge of at least one that has done that. Otherwise, your first answer makes no sense. So now let's see how she tries to wriggle out of this.
It's again, I think it's for the IRS to enforce the line, and we need to make sure that the IRS is properly.
Well, do you have a list of these tax sheets?
No.
Okay. Have you been to the IRS and said, here are these companies and they're cheating on their taxes and I can show you how they're doing it?
No, I'm not. That's not I've never practiced in that area of law. I'm not a tax whistleblower lawyer.
All you've done is run around saying American companies are cheating on their taxes. I can't tell you who they are. and I haven't been to the IRS to show my data to the IRS, but I want you to believe me that they're cheating on their taxes. Is that your testimony today?
No, Senator, no.
Sure sounds like it.
I think that the case against some of these companies has been well documented in the
Which companies?
in
Let me
the
ask you one,
public.
because I'm gonna run out of time. Tell me, in the last 23 seconds, here's your chance. You believe there are major American corporations cheating on their taxes. You just testified to that. I believe you told me yes. Tell me who they are.
I think there are the companies that Mr. Curtis
Tell me who they
discussed in
are,
his
your opinion.
testimony.
Tell me who they
It
are.
includes some of the big tech companies.
Who are
It
the
includes
five
some of the
worst?
pharma companies that are.
Who are the 5 worst?
I don't have a ranking. I have
You're
not
not going to
compiled.
tell. You don't want to say.
I haven't looked into that.
You understand it makes it hard to believe your allegations if you won't tell us who they are. Talk's cheap. You ever heard that expression?
God bless John Kennedy. God bless him. By the way, real fast, Zorka Millen is with the Fact Coalition. Fact. There's not a whole lot of facts going on there in that testimony. That's the Financial Accountability and Corporate Transparency. She was brought up to the podium or the witness stand there because she is the policy director where she leads on international tax policy and other transparency priorities. Before that, she served as a senior advisor at the investigative watchdog Global Witness for 10 years, focusing on improving financial transparency and accountability. She taught at Georgetown and Yale University. In other words, her job is to go up there and make these big grand statements without any actual basis for them or any support. And people in Washington, D.C. look at her credentials and say, oh, well, she must be telling us the truth. She must know what she's talking about. And, oh, she's the policy director, so we'll listen to her about what our tax policy should be. And then she basically writes parts of the tax code. And when you're a consultant on things like that, you oftentimes get rewarded. Not Ms. Millen in particular necessarily, but people like her who do what she does. They get rewarded for writing that tax policy because the very same major corporations that she's claiming cheat on their taxes right now, they pay a pretty penny to people just like Zorka Millen, not her in particular, of course, but they pay a lot of money to people like her with her credentials and with her positions to rewrite parts of the tax code to make it perfectly legal for those corporations to then cheat on their taxes. See, when is cheating not cheating? When you pay a lobbyist to change the laws to accommodate your cheating. And that's how people like Zorka Millen, not her in particular, of course, but people like her get very rich in Washington, D.C. And John Kennedy, he's seen this game before, and he called her out.